Shamrocks roll over Kirtland 45-7. Sets up a showdown with 11-0 Warren JFK. Eagles knocking off the Smithville Smithies 22-14. Bad night all around for the Wayne County Athletic League. West Salem Northwestern, power pole champion in Division 4, falls to Columbiana Crestview 29-13. And finally, the lone first-round game featuring two 10-0 teams. North Lima South Range beats West Lafayette Ridgewood 24-9. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention Bel Air in Division 4 beating St. Clairsville this afternoon. What a first round of the playoffs. It's in the books. Half the teams are gone. We'll be back again next Friday and Saturday. Playoffs. Grange Insurance Sport Site on ONN.
Grange Insurance Sport Site. Presented by Grange Insurance, your partner in protection.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands.
The Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Discover Ross County and let our down-home atmosphere and hospitality welcome you. Chillicothe and Ross County have left their mark on the state and its history. The Ross Chillicothe community is a vibrant and growing area constantly offering you new experiences. Home to some of the most beautiful scenic rivers, bikeways, and parks in southern Ohio. Browse the many specialty shops in the historic First Capital District or the national retail stores on Bridge Street. Contact the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau for your free visitors packet.
All around Ohio, people are serving their communities and making our home state a better place to live. ONN is proud to highlight their plans and achievements through Caring for Ohio. You're watching ONN, the Ohio News Network. Capital Square is brought to you by Honda of America Manufacturing, committed to buying parts from 150 Ohio companies.
Just hours away now for Ohio from the biggest general election in decades, those midterms. Will the electronic voting machines work? Could it be a statewide sweep for the Democrats? And can Columbus withstand the onslaught of countless satellite trucks and network news crews? Then we profile one of the most high-profile races here in Ohio. Outside of the quest for governor, that is. It's been a down and dirty campaign, but you'll hear kind words, more or less, from Betty Montgomery and Mark Dan next on Capitol Square.
Relevant, important, convenient. This is Capitol Square from the Ohio News Network.
Welcome to Capitol Square. I'm John Fortney. Joining us today, veteran State House journalist Bill Hershey from the Dayton Daily News, and also another veteran for us, Columbus Dispatch State House reporter Alan Johnson. We're going to be talking a little bit later about Betty Montgomery and Mark Dan. We have some comments from them. We asked them the same questions. We'll be hearing their comments coming up in our second segment today. But first of all, we're talking about voter turnout Tuesday, predicted at 54%. Alan, when we're talking 54% voter turnout, that's pretty good when we talk about a general election, a gubernatorial election here in the state of Ohio. Comparatively, it's running in the mid-40s. Is this good for Republicans? Is this good for conservatives, or is it better for Democrats?
I think it's better for Democrats. The conservatives would actually probably like to depress the vote turnout, because that means the core, really hardcore folks will turn out, and those typically are conservatives. So the higher the vote, probably the more it favors Democrats.
What do you think, Bill?
I think that Alan's right. I think that turnout was phenomenal for both Republicans and Democrats in 2004 for the presidential election. I don't think either side could have done much better. The problem now is Republicans and conservatives are discouraged by the polls that show their candidates lagging. On the other hand, the Democrats, they haven't been this happy for 10 or 14 years, but they're also hungry. And they've got their friends in organized labor who've come in to help get the vote out. So they're going to get their voters to the polls. The challenge to the Republicans is to use this very sophisticated, very well-functioning get-out-the-vote model that they use. And if they can do that, they might hold their own, but it's going to be tough.
I was going to say the same thing, Bill, because I would never, ever underestimate the Republican get-out-the-vote machine. It is very well organized, as Bill said, very powerful, very pervasive, and they have used it to great success in the past. So I do not underestimate their ability to get out the vote, But still, I think these overriding concerns will keep it down from what it has been in the past.
The key word is going to be grassroots over the weekend, and without a doubt, will it not be? Although we're going to see the candidates out there campaigning with everything that they have left all the way up until Tuesday, it's got to be key on this whole grassroots issue and the areas that they're going to target to try to get those conservatives out to vote if you're a Republican then.
Well, they know what kind of chewing gum and toothpaste the voters use, the Republican machine does. So they're going to do that, and they're praying for snow, a blizzard, probably not a tornado because that's too vicious, but anything to dampen turnout.
You know, one of the things, too, it certainly has been a long campaign and to cover, and this didn't start just with the primary. This started a long time ago. You remember some of those Deborah Price ads, caught red-handed, that came out? I think it was MoveOn.org or one of those 527 groups. I mean, this was a big ramp-up 18 months ago for this coming Tuesday, and it could be a very long night as well, not for Republicans necessarily, but in just counting the ballots here, for a lot of the people, because we're electronic voting machines now, and you would think it'd come in lickety-split, but in Cuyahoga County during the primary, they had some real issues with the ballots, with the machines, and now with the Diebold machines, apparently there's an issue about how fast they can count the ballots compared to the ES&S machines that we have here in Franklin County. So it looks like it could be a long time in just getting some of the results back from a huge county like Cuyahoga.
Cuyahoga County was a problem back when they used to count ballots by hand. We'd wait around for the results, and nothing seems to have changed. So we got this new voting equipment, and then we don't even know if they'll have the right kind of electric plugs. That happened to them in the primary race up there in Cuyahoga County. So if any of the races are close, it could be a very long night.
You want to say, is the river still on fire? Is the political river still? You don't have the right plugs, the right outlets. But I guess the big key is that the ES&S machines that people would vote in Franklin County, which are really simple to use, just that touchscreen technology, the counters count